ladies, it's your time. It's your time. It's your time. It's my time. It's our time. I can't say that enough. I'm super excited about tonight's show. Prior to us coming in, we were talking about it a little bit, and I am just thinking, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Because I can tell you I'm sick and tired of come telling you about it. It seems like I'm just repeating myself over and over and over. So today we've put together a show that I feel is going to solidify everything that we've talked about. We're going to give you some visuals, and we're going to give you step by step. I think for some reason, it's like you get off of this live, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, but now what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And so today we're going to break it down what you're supposed to do. Do about what, G? What are you talking about? Hey, everybody. Listen, my name is G Brown, the Lifestyle Changer, and these are my co-hosts to the side. They're going to introduce themselves when you hear from them. All three of us are carnivores. We come together as Hey Sister Girl to let you guys know that if you're not paying attention, some people have lost their health care. Well, guess what? We're trying to fix it where you don't even need the healthcare system. Imagine that. Imagine not worried about making it to the pharmacy. That's what we're working on. We're working on showing you what you need to do to take back your health, for you to be in charge. All right. So without any further ado, share this with your friends. Get this information out. I'm telling you, my friend has some visuals, and here, let me show you this before she comes, because she might have some video or pictures used tonight that might seem a little disturbing to you. All right. So Robyn. Hey, Robyn girl.
Hey, sister girl.
Robyn, go ahead, baby, and
right.
let people know.
Awesome. So I'm Robyn. I'm your carnivorous grandma. And tonight I'm going to be opening up my heart about an issue that I have been dealing with. You guys know, if you've been watching our show, if you've been watching my channel, you know that I struggle with eczema since birth. I'm going to share my screen here. So I want to read a scripture. I was actually having a conversation in our Marco Polo groups, and I gave this scripture, and I think this conversation triggered me being here tonight talking to you guys about eczema. It's Jeremiah 30:17, and it says, "For I will restore health to you, and your wounds will I heal, declares the Lord." And we were having a conversation about eczema and how I basically have been struggling with that all my life and have found a miracle cure. A miracle cure. And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit about my struggle. So let me go to the next page here if I can figure out how to make this work. Hello. I want to go forward. All right. So let's talk about it. What is eczema? Right? So first of all, I want to ask this question. What would you do differently if you knew that the foods that you or your child is eating were actually contributing to the skin battles with eczema? So I'm going to share my journey. This has been painful all of my life. So understanding eczema, there are so one of the things that I learned as I did research is that eczema is not actually considered to be an autoimmune disease, but it is an immune-mediated condition. So an autoimmune disease itself occurs when the body's immune system mistakenly attacks its own healthy tissues, while eczema is characterized by an overactive immune system. It's an immune response that causes inflammation, and we talk a lot about inflammation on this show, and irritation of the skin. So it does, though, bring with it some risk of developing other autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, and others. And it shares common genetic and environmental factors with these types of autoimmune conditions. So the term eczema is also called atopic dermatitis. It's more than just a skin condition. It's a chronic battle, and it takes many forms. So I wanted to give you guys the 7 types of eczema here. And I put a star next to the ones that I have or had. And so atopic dermatitis, you guys may hear this when you take your kid to the doctor and they're like atopic dermatitis. And I mean, it's just this generalization of these skin rashes. Contact dermatitis. So I struggle with this. Anytime the weather would change, the trees start doing their thing, the grass starts doing its thing, and those pollens get on my skin and cause my face and my hands and everything to have a contact dermatitis. You can also get this from touching like toxic substances, washing dishes, where you're actually touching something that causes the eczema to flare up. Dyshydrotic eczema was the bane of my existence, and this is itchy blisters on the hands and feet. Nummular eczema is like coin shaped. So you're going to see some pictures in a little bit that are going to show you like various different kinds of eczema that I had, but these are like shaped like a coin. They're small circles and they're very, very itchy. Then you have seborrheic dermatitis, which affects your oily areas. So like scalp. So I used to have to go to the dermatologist and get these shampoos and stuff for my head because I had eczema all through my scalp. You might see something like cradle cap. That's a type of eczema. Stasis dermatitis is the only one that I'm not sure that I had this because it's related to poor circulation and it's usually on the legs. I did have eczema on my legs, but I can't say that it was stasis dermatitis. And then neurodermatitis is where chronic scratching leaves thick, scaly patches. So you'll see this a lot of times on little kids where they just can't stop scratching and then they get these thick raised areas of their skin. And I had that as a kid. So I'm going to go to my next slide. If I could figure out how to work this thing, that would be super nice. All right. So I started from the very beginning, right? My mom told me that I was born with eczema. So these are not pictures of me, but these are pictures of examples of the kinds of eczema that I had when I was a kid. Look at this baby up in the corner. Have you ever seen a baby that has such terrible eczema that they're rubbing their back of their legs with their feet? That they're constantly scratching. I was the baby that had the little mittens on because I was constantly trying to scratch myself. She said I was born with it. So I had constant flare-ups. And in the summertime, oh my gosh, you look at the back of these legs. This is my legs. I mean, I remember this. I remember having those blisters and just weeping, oozing patches on the back of my legs, in the creases of my arms here, under the armpits. Just terrible, terrible. And this is around the ankles and then on the neck. So you see that darkening of the skin around the neck. You're constantly scratching it. It itches so bad. If you have eczema, you know what I'm talking about. And then I chose this picture because I think a lot of times we'll see this look. We think that this is chapped lips. And I thought it was chapped lips. So I would see myself with this all the way around. Very dark or light. It would lighten up sometimes, but this is actually eczema. So what did this lead to? I mean, in the summertime, I would be a kid wearing long pants, long sleeves. I would be so embarrassed because it looked like something contagious. It was weeping, it was oozing, it was bleeding, it was blistered up, and it just really, people would look at that and think, something's wrong with me. They would think that there was something wrong with me. And so I felt trapped in my skin. I was always trying to hide this, you know? And so it was a real struggle for me. And then I started to go into a cycle of medications. So I wanted to talk about the medication cycle because none of this stuff worked. None of it worked. From the hydrocortisone cream that you can buy over the counter, all the way to the very most strongest of the eczema creams that I could get, clobetasol propionate. I put it on every single day diligently, and it did not work. It didn't work. And then I took this medicine right here. This is called Desinide lotion. I used this medicine on my face for 30 years until a month after I went carnivore. I realized I had stopped using it. And then the prednisone treatments. Oh my goodness, the steroid treatment worked like magic. You take that steroid treatment and all of a sudden everything clears up and your skin looks beautiful, like natural, like a baby's bottom. And then the day after you're done with it, it comes raging back worse than before. I got to the point where I would not take a course of these steroids because of that. Because I knew that if I took the steroids, it would clear it up really, really well. And then, as soon as I was done with the steroids, it would stop. And it would come right back. Even worse than before. There's so many ointments and creams, hydrocortisone, topical steroids, antihistamines like Benadryl for the itching, and then the cortisone injections even. I went to the dermatologist and they would inject my fingers because the blisters were so bad. They would just inject it directly into the blisters on my hands. And so it was really, really, it didn't work. None of that stuff worked. And the dermatologist told me that it's not food related. I asked multiple times because I felt like there were certain things that I would eat that would make it worse. And they would say, no, this is not food related. But come to find out, ultimately, it was the food. All right. So I wanted to share this picture with you guys. Hopefully you guys can see it. I can't really make it bigger. But I did a lot of different things to cover up my face. These are my before and afters. I was sharing these pictures with my kids, and my kids were saying, "You did not look like that." And I'm like, yes, I did. This is how I looked all the time. I would have these flaky rashes. You can see here, like my ears swelled up one day. This is all the different forms of eczema. It would just come up in different ways. This is that nummular eczema. It was like a circle. My face had eczema as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember, I had eczema on my face. Tonight, I'm purposely not wearing any makeup so that you guys can see that I do not have those dark circles around my eyes and that dark ring around my mouth. This cleared up in 30 days. This right here, my face, the dark circles underneath the eyes and around the mouth cleared up in 30 days on a carnivore diet. And from going from the idea that this is not food related to clear skin in 30 days was miraculous for me. It was literally miraculous. This is my after picture. This was taken last summer. And I mean, I'm just like, I can hardly believe it. In fact, I was at a dinner last Sunday and somebody was asking me about the carnivore diet. And I said, let my pictures speak for me, because these pictures speak louder than words. Even my parents are like, wow, you look really different. You look a lot, your skin is clear. It's amazing. I used to try to cover it up with makeup. I found this amazing thing called concealer, and concealer would cover that up. As long as it wasn't flaking or raised, you couldn't really see it because I would hide it behind the concealer and behind foundation. But now I don't have to wear that anymore. And I kind of have stopped wearing it. I do put it on every now and then, but I don't have to wear it to cover up my face anymore. And then there was one other thing that really did help a lot, and that was sunlight. So getting out and getting that sunlight directly on my skin really helped, was a thing that really helped. But other than that, none of that other stuff, none of those medications actually they didn't do much, if anything at all. All right, so I wanted to talk about dyshidrotic eczema. Dyshidrotic eczema is the hand and foot blisters. as I said, my hands would be so painful that I would not be able to function. I tried wearing cotton gloves. I tried putting ointments on and then putting gloves over it to try to get that to heal up. And it did not work. Those medications, they didn't work. They just didn't work. I would put them on, they would not work. And I would use some of the strongest medications that they had out there to try to clear this up. What happened to my hands was they basically it goes through this cycle, the eczema does. And the cycle is, it is like blistering, peeling, cracking, peeling, flaking, drying, blistering, cracking. I mean, it was so horrible. I think in Chinese medicine, they call this heat. And when I think about what it does, it boils up from inside you and then blisters on the outside. So it's so deep that you can't even reach it. Like you try to scratch it, the scratching does not work. The only thing, and if you have eczema, you can testify to this, that the only thing that touches the itch of this is scalding hot water. You have to dip your hands in some hot water. I would run the hot water over my hands until I just wanted my skin to like peel off. It itches so bad. And, even now there are certain foods that I have to avoid because I can't eat them. They cause my eczema to flare up. I did put a picture of my foot. This is contact dermatitis. I moved from one state to another and I walked outside with my bare feet and this is what happened. Contact dermatitis. So, and then this is the after picture. This was also this summer when my hand was super clear. And so it's just been really, really amazing to go through this process with the food. So here's the thing. The carnivore diet was the first step, cutting out all the plants, cutting out basically all the plants first. Because when I first went on carnivore, I was still eating a lot of cheese. I was having the heavy cream in my coffee, everything. The first thing that happened that was so noticeable to me was that my face cleared up. Then my hands healed up and a bunch of other things healed up as well. Then I noticed that, okay, if I eat, there's a couple of things. There's like broccoli, lettuce, cauliflower. If I even eat something that's been touched by a piece of lettuce, my eczema will flare up. Also seed oils. So when you go to restaurants and they cook your food in seed oil, I can tell because I'll have an eczema flare. And then the heavy cream, I really wanted it not to be the heavy cream. Like, why does it have to be the dairy? But it turns out that dairy does impact me that way. So I can't have heavy cream. I can't have a whole lot of butter. I went on a stick of butter a day challenge for 2 months, and my eczema flared up from having way too much butter. And then also the cheese. So my friend G is like, don't touch the cheese. Don't touch the cheese because I do have a sensitivity to cheese. So just learning the things that actually cause this problem. It's the food, guys. It is the food. So, again, what would you do different? What would you do different if you knew it was the food that was causing this problem? Like, would you be willing to give something up for it? Eczema for me is like one of the top reasons that I stay on a carnivore diet. I do not want to go back to the face that looks like I got punched in both eyes and like got a dark circle around my mouth. So you're not alone. If you're a person who has eczema, definitely there's hope. There is an option that you could try. If you've tried everything, you've tried the ointments, you've tried the creams, you've tried the pills, you've tried the Dupixent, and none of it works, you're not alone, and there is something that you can try. Sometimes the answer is simpler than you thought. When you thought it was the food and you told your doctor, I think it's something that I'm eating that's causing this to flare up, and they said, oh, no, it's not food related. It's a simple answer that it is food related. So open that door I love this little window here. Open the door. Open the door to receive your healing. I'm going to go back to that scripture because the scripture resonated with me. For I will restore health to you. He's given you an option that you can try that will heal your body from the inside out. All right, I'm going to pause there in case we have any questions. I'll stop. Got to do what you need to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are, hold on, that way we can catch up. I have a couple, but I'm gonna just go ahead and put Jazzy Jude said, hey, she had it the exact same thing, and eating meat and healthy fats are helping her. So
Yes.
that's exactly what we are saying. It is what you're eating. And then she said, same. Yep, no cream, steroids, none of that helped her. So she's resonating with your story.
Yeah.
And then the question was, have or are you increasing healthy fats?
Yes. So carnivore is it is a healthy fats diet. So we stay away from all of the seed oils as much as we possibly can. And we do not use any of those. I use beef tallow, I use bacon grease, lard. I clean my fats myself so that I can have some very clean lard. I eat a lot of fried food, but I fry it in the healthy saturated fat. I have to stay a little bit away from butter because butter has the milk solids. I can use ghee, which I render that myself I take the sticks of butter and clean those milk solids off. But I can't eat too much butter because it definitely causes my eczema to flare.
Okay, then the last question here. How long until y'all started seeing results? I've been carnivore since Christmas Eve and I haven't lost a pound. I
Have
started
you
eating
measured yourself?
the
That's good.
bacon, butter, beef, and egg about a month ago, but my weight hasn't changed. Well, hang in there because that question is going to be answered and addressed in this next segment. So are you turning it over?
I'm turning it over to Miss DeNitra. She's going to give us some simple steps.
That's it.
Yay. Hey, everybody. Robyn, amazing. So I don't know if we've ever talked about that. My diagnosis of lupus, one of the symptoms was eczema. So I suffered with eczema for a really long time. And although you didn't display it there, the one thing that did help me, I will stand by it for life, is Cetaphil soap and lotion. To this day, I still use both of those. I only put that on my skin, even though I, feel like I'm healed. I got a trauma response if I try to do something different. When I was a teacher, my students would always, bring me the cute smell goods, and I would tell them, like, at that time I was Miss Payne can't. But that was one of the things that was helpful for me, was using Cetaphil bar soap and lotion. But what I want to add to everything you said was that it is the food, it is your body's reaction. So even when we get what we think is sunburn, so we've been taught to like stay out of the sun is a problem. The sun is never a problem for you. It is the sun reacting to something that doesn't belong in your body that's causing the problem. When you get sunburn, it is a reaction to something that's in your body. I can go to the beach now. I get no burns. I used to be burned all across my chest, all down my arms, but it was something in my body that it was reacting to. And so thank you for sharing that and shining a light on eczema. I see so many babies, so many children. When I'm in the stores, like I just want to walk up to people and say, you could fix this. This can be fixed. It is what you're eating. And they say the same thing. The doctor say ain't got nothing to do with what I'm eating. That's what they're going to tell you. And that's why my shirt says, the sicker we get, the richer they get. Right? So why would you? And in the defense of doctors, if they're truthful, what we've learned is that they've not been trained in nutrition. And because they haven't been trained in nutrition, they can only answer questions based on symptoms and prescribing a medicine. We call it, they have a pill for every ill. So thank you, Robyn. My task tonight is fun. I'm super excited as well. And so I'm going to share my screen and talk through. I want to take my time tonight because this is like the $1 million question, if you will, that people have when they've listened to us talk about carnivore. And I think I'm going to do this right. Did I get it right? I think I got it right. So my goal tonight is to really spend some time helping us go from surviving to thriving. A lot of times I hear people saying, I'm doing the best I can. And, you know, I'm operating on what I know, what I understand, what I've kind of figured out. And so now that you all have been hanging with us for many episodes, I just want to take you all through this simple, essential process that can help you get started, stay started. And I often say that it is a track, that if you get off the track, this is a place to go back to. And so that's what my goal is tonight. So step one, the first thing that you have to do is understand what foods are causing inflammation. This thing that we're talking about is all about inflammation. Eczema is inflammation. Being overweight is inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is when there are foreign things in the body. And usually 9.9 times out of 10, it's from some plant source. So rest with that. It is with some type of plant source. And so starting with getting rid of sugar, high fructose corn syrup, getting rid of all grains and legumes. What's the problem with grains and legumes? And remember, I bring you the science. You don't have to believe me. Take your notes and do your research. Everything that's listed here is backed by science. So you want to learn about lectins, gluten, oxalates, phytates. All of these things trigger inflammation in the body because they are foreign to the body. They don't belong in the body, so they cause you issues. Robyn mentioned multiple times seed oils. Don't believe me. I need you to learn what seed oils are and take them out of your diet. Anything that is based with a seed. One of the main ones that we know so well is canola oil. We think the one that says vegetable oil, because it says vegetable, we think it's something healthy about it. There's nothing healthy about it. I need you all reading the back of these packages. Go on the back and figure it out. I was in sessions today with a client, and we spent our time going through the seasonings in her pantry. And upon her own discovery, with a little bit of my guidance, she was able to read that these things were full of sugars, full of seed oils. All of these things are what's causing inflammation. So that's step one, is eliminating. Now, let me add this to you all. I get the question all the time when clients start with me, are we going to start with a detox? Let's do a detox. I can do a detox. Or I started at the beginning of the year with a detox. Y'all, the word detox means without toxins. It means to stop putting the toxins in. You don't have to push something in to take that out. So people are selling detox teas, detox drinks, and all of that. And I'm saying to you tonight, the detox is eliminate the inflammatory foods. Okay. Step two is to prioritize protein and healthy fats. I've said this often, that there are 3 macronutrients. There is protein, there's fats, and there's carbohydrates. The only 2 that are essential, means that you must have them, you can't live without them, is protein and fats. That's it. Carbohydrates are non-essential. You can live life without them. You can live life better without them. You can live a quality life and never have them. Okay. So you want to prioritize getting your protein and fats. A couple of things to consider is the fatty fishes, your beef tallow, your butter, your ghee, duck fat. So a lot of times we're using Pam to like spray down stuff. And we like Pam because it makes stuff pop out easy. And I'm saying to you, that's a seed oil. You can change that to a duck fat, or you can use regular butter. Step 3 is hydration. Key to your process. And hear me loud and clear. Hydration does not mean just getting your water. Water is good. I'm agreeable to it. But you need to also have electrolytes. You need your magnesium, you need your potassium, and you need your sodium. I know. Sodium is bad for me. It gives you high blood pressure. Not true. It's not the truth. Okay? You need sodium. Think about this. If ever you are admitted into the hospital for dehydration, the first thing they're going to do is put you on a sodium drip. How can sodium be bad for you? And I'm going to come behind Robyn with scripture. The Bible says that we are the salt of the earth. How could that be bad? We bring flavor. We preserve situations. Da-da-da-da. All right. So you need your sodium. You need your potassium. You need your magnesium. It's not enough just to drink water. Why? When your body flushes, when you urinate, when you sweat, none of that tastes like pure water. It has a salty taste to it. That means that you are burning something else as well. You have to replenish that. So hydration and electrolytes go together. You need a quality electrolyte to make sure that you're getting a good balance of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. This is a big one. I need you to stop snacking. Y'all okay with me still? Okay. So why do we want to stop snacking? Snacking is what increases insulin. The more you keep giving your body something, it makes insulin wake up. Ideally, you want to fill up your tank. We've said that often on this show, and leave your body alone. One thing that I want you all to remember is snacking in any form. I'm going to get this quote real quick for you. Snacking in any form. Dr. Robyn Savage says, it is always an emotional event, never a nutritional one. So if you're at work and you're running to the snack machine, I want you to stop and think, why am I running to the snack machine? Am I really hungry? Did somebody just upset me? Like, check in with yourself when you feel like you need a snack. All right, that's number 4. Number 5, I need you tracking. Hold on. Tracking can be kind of hard to do. It doesn't feel like it's continuous. So I'm saying for a season, what I mean by tracking is paying attention to what's happening in your body. Where are you having some food sensitivities? What's happening with your sleep? Someone asked a question just a moment ago. Oh, I've been carnivore for 1 month and the scale hasn't moved. The question to ask yourself is, what has moved? What has changed? And this is why I want you tracking what's happening with you. You can do it digitally. You can do it on paper. There are many ways to track your progress. It's not just the scale. The scale will become your worst enemy if you ain't careful. So I will use myself for an example. In the month of January, I was 95% strict with carnivore. From January to the end of the month, I gained 1.5 pounds. However, in January was my first time I was fitted for a waist bead. On February the 5th, when I looked at the waist bead, it literally was hanging. Like, I literally can pull it, but there was only 1 pound difference in my weight. So think about it like this. Think about your body, and the inflammation on your body is like air that you use to blow up a balloon that swells it. All inflammation doesn't register on the scale. Therefore, sometimes it's going to seep out just like it seeped on. It's going to seep out, and you will need to pay attention to other areas. So that's what this step 5 is. It's just pause and pay attention. If it were not for the waist bead, I probably would be not believe that there was a change. But when I say significant, like I can push it out and look down, that's how far out the waist bead. And I have a before picture of when it was tight and now that it's loose. So that may be a suggestion. That may be your way of tracking. Perhaps it's something you'd like to try. Step 6 is simplify your grocery list. So remember, this carnivore way of life is about healing. This is what we often say on this show, is that it is about healing. So we want to simplify our list when we're going to the store. We don't want to thing for thing. Oh, I ate this kind of bread. Now I want to switch to this because, I can have this. And we're trying to figure out how much we can have. I really want you thinking about how little can I have and still be good. So one of the recommendations is shopping around the perimeter of the store. If you notice any grocery store, they're primarily set up the same. You have your whole fruits and vegetables on one side. Across the back, you got your meat, your fish. Up the other side, you have your dairy. Stay out of those center aisles. This is where they go for you to make money, and it's not food at all. It has no nutritional value. You want to be eating things that are going to give you nutritional value. So that's a way for you to simplify your grocery list. And this is my all-time favorite. Is start with the beef. Y'all, beef is going to give you the best bang for your buck. So I don't know if you all remember back in the day, it's like, where's the beef? That's the question I have today. Where's the beef? Find it, eat it. You want to eat ruminating animals. What do I mean by ruminator? They have something in their stomach that breaks down all the plants that they eat that your body just cannot do. So you get it from them in their breakdown. But beef, by far, in ruminated animals, whether it's lamb, bison, that's by far the best thing you could put in your body. So if you want to believe that you are created as a luxury item and you deserve the very best, beef is the best. Lamb, bison, those are the best thing. You're going to get the most bang for your buck. Look at this nutrient density. You're going to get protein. You're going to get iron, vitamin, zinc, creatine, omega-3s, vitamin K2. Like, you're going to get all of this just from eating beef. Our other favorite word on here, and my clients love it, is satiety. This is going to get you to a place of satiety. All right. Often I hear from people, I can't eat beef. I can't digest it. And you think that because these things are being absorbed in your body. Beef is never going to be in your toilet because your body is going to use it. It's only waste that ends up in your toilet. Beef is going to be absorbed. So when you say you don't digest it well, you may be on to something. It just means that your body is absorbing it, using it, excited to have it. So guess what? It's pushing out inflammation. Beef does not cause inflammation. It wasn't on the inflammation list. Remember that. In step 8 is to experiment with animal fats. So the seed oils that we continue to talk to you about, if you're not familiar with them, again, it's things like canola oil, soybean oil, corn oil, sunflower oil, safflower, grapeseed, rice bran, cottonseed, peanut, vegetable oil. All of these things were initially lubricants for machinery. Now they've found a way to make them okay for us to consume. And I'm saying to you tonight, clear your pantry. Don't give it away. Don't donate it. Just go and dump it. Or my good friend, Dr. Berry, says it's how he oils up his salt before he uses it. That's essentially what it was used for. Let's do some experimentation. Beef tallow. What is beef tallow? It is the fat, the grease that we typically throw away. We drain it off of the beef, ground beef, or we drain it off of the roast. We're saying tonight, eat it, use it. You can buy beef tallow. It's actually really good for your skin too. It's nourishment to your skin. Butter and ghee. All of these things are great fats. Try them. Number 9, and I say this often, this time and season in your life where you're on this health journey, ideally, this is the most intimate time that you will have with your body. You want to listen to it. You want to make sure that you are paying attention to what's happening in your body, not just the scale. Remember, the scale is still external, it's outside of you. You want to pay attention to what's going on inside of you. Am I hungry? Or am I eating mindlessly? Is this just something I want to taste today? So think about listening and paying attention. Another thing you want to do is make sure you're using data. You're getting your fasting insulin. You know your blood glucose. You know your A1C. What does your lipid panel say? All of these things are great markers for you to get a base point of where you are. So when you say to me that the scale's not moving, and trust me, I'm there too. Remember, I told you all of January, the scale was like up, down, like, hold up, I'm doing everything right. But I also know that all of these other things were changing for me. So let's not just get stuck on the scale, and let's pull in some of these other things to be examples for us as well. And so you want to be making decisions based on data. So sometimes when I'm working with clients, like, oh no, I can't eat beef. Oh no, I love this. I can't give this up. I don't want to give that up. And I ask them, what does your data say? Does your data say that your A1C is high and that you're insulin resistant? Does your data tell you that you are pre-diabetic, you're diabetic? Does your data tell you that you have high blood pressure, that you have PCOS? So you want to be data driven to make your decisions versus I just don't like that or I don't want that. You want to know what's going to get you to a place of healing. And I often say that your body should not be a mystery to you. You should be in tune to what's going on with your body. And number 10, remember, this is not about perfection. This is all about progress. Again, this is a track that you can follow. It's a path towards success for you, but it's not about perfection. It's not about getting everything right. It is about, I am on a journey to better. I'm going to continue to learn. Where I am as a carnivore is not where I started. I had the same mindset, but the more I checked in with my body, the more I checked in with how I felt, it became the driver for how I wanted to feel and how I wanted to be better. And so I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to dial back in.
So here, I'm going to put this up for you. This is Star. This is going to go back to a little bit with Robyn. And she thinks that she might have some sensitivity to eggs and cheese. And she does plan to go to an allergist to see exactly what she is allergic to.
I wanted to comment to that because I did comment back to her because I used to go to the allergist. I had terrible seasonal allergies. That's another thing that cleared up on carnivore. But I was tested for everything. And I was basically allergic to everything that was like, hay and grasses and trees and molds and cockroaches and dogs and cats. But I wasn't allergic to any food. Not one. I did not have one food sensitivity identified in my allergy test panel. But I can tell you, if I accidentally ate some lettuce, like I went to McDonald's and sometimes they just automatically put your burgers on lettuce. I didn't think it was a big deal. Okay, I'm going to eat these burgers. I'm not going to eat the lettuce. My hands flared up. So I'm clearly, I have a sensitivity to lettuce, but I'm not sure that the allergist would say that it's an allergy. Same thing with milk and dairy. I have a sensitivity to it. My skin cannot deal with it. It boils up from inside my body and bursts through the skin.
Let me just add this to
wait a minute. While you are saying what you're saying, everybody, I'm going to put up and you're going to hear DeNitra's voice, but this is what was wrong with us. So you can go ahead, DeNitra, keep talking.
So what I wanted to just give Star is something to consider. An allergist is not going to uncover the things that we're talking about. I'm your proof of that. I got little holes in my neck. I done had the cancer test and all types of things. This is a trial thing with elimination. So one of the first steps that we talked about tonight was eliminating stuff. I would say consider eliminating some things. So a lot of the clients that I work with, they think they are lactose intolerant. What they soon find out is that it's not that they're lactose intolerant. It was some other damages. I have a client right now that suffers with acid reflux. And because he choked or something when eating the meat, he thought it was the meat, but it was the damages that already had been done to weaken it. So I would say something to consider, Star, is possibly doing an elimination, taking out all of these plant foods for a season. Even if you try it for 7 days, you may see some improvement. Because for me, eczema is autoimmune, but they call it autoimmune simply because they don't know what it is. And they tell you it doesn't have, we don't know how you got it. We just know that this makes it worse. Well, if what makes it worse is probably how I got it. So take the sugar out, take the plant-based. Remember, all plants are sugar. We're going to continue to say that on this show. All plants are sugar. So when people say to me, I don't eat a lot of plants. I don't eat a lot of sugar. If you're eating anything plant from a potato, your body is going to metabolize it as sugar. Just want to add that.
Oh, it's good. It's good. We are going, let me see. I got some comments or something, because for me, I like to put up, I don't know if we see anything else.
I see somebody asking, Mandel.
Here you go.
Can you speak to using ozone? Yeah.
Well, let's just say that we are not physicians.
Yeah. So let me say, right. So yes, Mandel. We are, again, we don't give medical advice. So let me agree with Robyn on that. What I will say is that there are changes that you can make. There are prescriptions that you can take. What we promote here is that your body can do it when you eliminate what's hurting it. What I often say, and I said this to myself, this is not about somebody else, is that the meds that the doctor wanted to give me relative to prediabetes was only going to be treating if I kept eating the same way. I opted to remove what the problem was and never had to take the meds.
Right.
So some people feel like they because they don't know. We believe that there's a gap in knowledge. And again, this show, our hope is to be a bridge for people to consider certain things.
Yeah. I want to add to what the ladies were saying. If you're looking to drop all of your weight, as if you went on a starvation diet or something like that, this is not for you. We are really talking to people for your health first. Losing the weight is a byproduct. So it goes back to what DeNitra said. The question is, how do you feel? Because see, there are some people who have not released all of the inflammation, the fluffiness, the puffiness that's going on, but their joints no longer hurt.
Right.
Okay. That and when you walk into the bathroom and the bottom of your feet feel like just pins and knee, that's gone. So sometimes it might not be that size of clothes.
Or you look in the mirror and you don't have 2 black eyes and a ring around your mouth. It
could be just that simple that you turn around and on your neck, I got one skin tag left right there. When I started getting them all around, I was like, oh God, here come another old people thing. Now you got to have skin tags. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you go and look at some of my earlier videos, I pretty much had a pair of glasses on every video. I can't even see my prescription anymore. Matter of fact, let me write that down. I got to make an eye appointment. I keep forgetting. Yes, because I need to see what is it now. But in actuality, I love going outside now. I love going outside without sunglasses. We so smart, we stupid. Here's the thing. My eyes needed to see the sun to tell my brain, protect the skin.
Right.
Let's say that again for the people way over there in the back. Your eyes needed that to tell your brain, protect your skin, because you're eating the right foods. Now, if you're not following this way of eating, baby, keep them glasses on and put them sunscreen on. You need all of that. And whatever side comes with it, because everything has some side effects on it, right? Keep with it. But those that are doing carnivore, you will notice you can be outside even longer. No, I pretty much live on a boat. Look at my high yellow self. I keep saying I was like, good gracious, I got to sit out here this long. It's something else that I want to do. My skin is just not getting dark, but I'm working on that. Here's another thing I want to share in regards to eating this way. There are some people, Frederick and I was having this conversation because he went on a fast and 5 days. And when he came off, we gradually brought him off, started with some broth, did some boiled eggs for that first day. But what he said was, I haven't eaten in 5 days. Where did all this crap come from? Here's the thing, the great part of fasting. His body did not stop eating.
Come on. It's because we pre-ate, remember? We pre-ate.
Yes. His body started, and wait a minute. Then all of a sudden, he's like, oh, my back hurting a little bit. I said, baby, you just reached back to a meal that was 4-5 years ago. That's what we don't understand. That stuff get locked away. And then all of a sudden you eat some meat and you want to demonize it, when everyone in this community, not a handful, but everyone that's really living this life, 99% medication free, have reversed almost everything. And we always say 3 to 5 years. So if you're trying to, fit in your wedding gown, this isn't for you. But if you want to stay married and doing all them extra great things for years to come, this is for you.
So let me just say this, because there are people that do lose a lot of weight on the carnivore diet, right?
Yeah.
But however, this is a healing protocol. You need to get that crash diet thing out of your head, because it's just not a crash diet. I will tell you from my experience, I still have weight to lose. I've been on carnivore. It'll be 2 years. Oh my gosh. In a couple of days, it'll be 2 years. I lost 20 pounds within the first 3 months. And then I maintained, or I went up and down and all over the place. I didn't lose any more weight until just recently. I've been working on what is the formula, as DeNitra says, that will allow me to release weight, right? So primarily, this way of eating is about healing. So if you're looking for a crash diet, this is what G's trying to tell you. If you're looking for a crash diet, this is not it.
And let me just add this, Robyn. I often say on here, if you turn yourself inside out, just imagine that, and you could see all the damages that have been done before you got to carnivore, what your organs look like as a result of all the wrong things that we've been putting in the body. The body needs to heal that first, release all of that inflammation before you're going to see necessarily some movement on the scale. But as G said, check in with yourself. That was one of the steps tonight. Listen to your body, get to know it, become its best friend. There should be no other more intimate time than what you're doing with your body right now. No one should have this level of intimacy.
Take your measurements, measure your body, because if you're on carnivore, if you're truly doing a carnivore diet, your body is releasing inflammation, and you should see something different in your measurements. And so it may not be on the scale. That scale is a liar, and the truth ain't in it. But the scale is a liar. So measure your body and see what is actually happening. And then like check with yourself, as DeNitra was saying, are you actually doing a carnivore diet? That's a question that I had to ask myself. Like, you know, if I'm tasting a little of this, tasting a little of that, I have a little sugar here, a little sugar there. Am I actually on a carnivore diet for healing? So that's something that you may want to consider as well.
Right. Let me say this to the people. I don't know how you're watching this episode. I don't know if you are on your computer, if you are on, it's on the television. Get you your smart device. I'm telling you ahead of time because I am getting ready to put a QR code up on the screen. That's the reason why I'm saying this. So position yourself. And then if this is the replay, you can pause it. You can go back and pause it. We're close to the end. But guess what, y'all? What? What? Well-informed women win. When do they do this? March 22nd from 9 to 3. Look who's going to be there. First of all, it's our great host, DeNitra. We got Dr. Tony Hampton in the house. Dr. Ken Berry in the house. And then Robyn and I, you won't want to miss this, especially what I'm about to share and how it's put together. But there's the QR code that will get you more information. Ta-da! There you go. And I love you, and you guys know I love showing before and afters, right? So we want you to see the before and after. So this is my credentials. Hello. This is my credentials. I tell you all the time, it's my credentials. These are our credentials, right? I even drug my husband over into it. These are, look at the big old arms. Y'all, what is this over here on the left side? Okay, it's on the left side of the thing. Look up under my arm, right? What is, does look like butt cheeks. I'll just walk around like that because some of y'all won't do a short sleeve. Like it's hiding up under that arm like that. You better go ahead and let that arm on out. Let it do what it do. You ate it. Now you want to hide it. But until next week, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully we will see you in Memphis, Tennessee, right? We're putting together some things, but go ahead. You get with your friend, drive, however you want to get there. I will end the show by putting it back up. All right. Until next week, you guys get in where you fit in. We love and appreciate you. Until next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.